Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, once again, Lord IBO Reese Hards, and you're watching CORP Exchange Television. And this is our infamous Today's Market segment on CORP Exchange Television. This markets are pointing a little open. That's neither here nor there from what we saw last week. By the way, Net Secure is today's market, and Net Secure is a member of the CORP Exchange in good standings. What we do is we bring things to you. We bring a commentary to you. We do today's market. Pretty much is all what we're doing right now. We're gonna offer so you can upgrade on our platform. That way you can get you can see what I'm doing directly. But we're not even there yet. We're just doing today's market. So like you said, the market point is pointing open, and jobs. There was a report on one of the wires that jobs are causing the rise in job is causing lower inflation. I don't know. I guess it just sounds good, or it just sounds good and looks good on the front page. But I have something here that I didn't even look at. I just picked it up, and this is from Alan Greenspan. We were doing some research with something he was saying, and this is from 2013. Long-term stability with inflation at a minimum leads to bubbles. Comparing 2014 and beyond. This is me, but I was taking it from what he was saying. And not to call Greenspan or anybody out, but this is just some scratch, when we were watching and learning economics, and I was just something he must have said. There is tight financial reform that is a direct result of the 2008 housing crisis, which was a bubble. Although this is a real inflationary and regulation, reform is so tight and it's so strict that periods of economic stability, that is in fact during of the period of the higher than normal inflation, the expectation of a, quote, bubble burst, unquote, is not foreseen. The catalyst moving forward in today's secular bull market is simply technology. The technology in 2014 by no means can be compared to 1994 or any other bubble time scenario. This aspect only makes the economy and drives consumers, expands the economy and drives consumers. It has created an atmosphere that is stretching far and wide. It would not be hard to say that with the drive and the push in technology, that human beings could be back on the moon before there is another bubble in the U.S. economy, another tech bubble in the U.S. economy. This is what I was scratching after I heard some stuff about Greenspan and bubbles. And we were talking about the housing crisis, which was a bubble, the tech crisis, which was a bubble. I don't know, you can call inflation a bubble. What I understand from the dead brain economics world is inflation is in fact a tax. Now I forget which one, Friedman, who said that. The inflation is a tax, is a form of ways for government to tax, just like austerity is a form of ways for government to cut spending. Stimulus is a way for government to spend money to help people. It's all based on making the economy competitive and keeping it stronger. So with that being said, the inflation is so high right now, it creates, and everything in life creates an opportunity. For example, if I'm walking down the street and I trip and I sprain my leg, it creates an opportunity for the doctor, because I have to go to the doctor. He has the opportunity to mend my leg, mend my foot, and prosper off it, and make a penny off it. That's how that's how businesses interact with consumers. So when you see austerities happen, it creates an opportunity for one side or the other. In this case, it's just mainly Wall Street versus Main Street, which you should see the book that I wrote in 2008, Wall Street versus Main Street. It's pretty much right after the crash. And, the big fat cats, well, you got to read the book. It's supposed to be published on Amazon already. Wall Street versus Main Street. Back to the inflation. That's the jobs is lowering inflation. I don't understand what that means, because over the past couple of decades, or the last decade, the government, the United States government, the economy has spent more money than it's ever spent. I mean, it's way up in the trillions, and the dollar is weaker, so you can spend more money to help people and expand the economy and make it competitive globally against a rage in China. The dragon is just blowing fire, and he's not playing games. These people are serious. They want the number one currency. They want to be the number one currency. What Russia and they're doing now, they're making their push through other local economies and lining up their ducks and getting their people ready for, I don't know, space exploration. Who knows? We're going somewhere with technology. Just keep that in mind, and it's going to be very, very, very big. So the inflation becomes a tax. The U.S. government deflation rate is so high because they spend so much money. So over the last decade, you had the housing crisis, which led to job problems, and then the health crisis with the plague caused people not to be able to work. Unemployment comes in, people are collecting unemployment, people are getting stimulus packages, bunch of financial aids going into the communities, the municipalities, to help people just to survive and just keep a sane mind, because people are dying. In every other crisis, I think I would argue this is the worst because it reeks of death. 1999 tech, I jumped out the window, I lost all my money. 2008, I had 10 houses and 30 businesses in my portfolio, and I lost everything, and nobody wants to talk business with me. That's fine. But when you look across, when you wake up and your neighbors are dead, and you wake up and the hospitals are full of sick people that are 80% of them are already terminally ill, and there's no help for these people, that's danger. That's code red. You see what I'm saying? That's top of the line. When death comes into the picture, everything changes. You see what I'm saying? And people were dying really fast. So the inflation kicks in because they have to replace that money. The only way you can replace that money is by taxing the businesses. You tax the businesses, you go to the markets, you go to the consumers and the goods people, the commodities, well, we say goods here, IBO CORP exchange, and you tell them, hey, I'm paying a bigger tax because they're out there charging me a bigger tax, so let's just raise the price on corn, raise the price on water, raise the price on everything. Durable goods, discretionary spending, let's cut that and raise. So the businesses I can tax the businesses a few more cents. Naturally, the businesses are going to raise their prices to keep their margins where they're at. The consumer feels it. He gets squeezed. He's talking about inflation and market volatility, but the government needs to put that money back into the system. So they're going to raise the rates. They're going to raise the revenues. They're going to raise the prices. So the businesses, the big businesses that are still thriving and creating jobs can pay more money, taxes to the government. And that's more like what the Greenspans are talking about when you see a bubble. So you're saying the inflation is lower. I'm trying to argue. I'm arguing, can we see an inflation bubble? I don't know. I don't know if we can do more spending over here, or we can start cutting. We're still within the parameters of the plague. We're not out of it yet. Lord IBO Reese Hards, CORP Exchange Television, Net Secure. I love this company. These guys are really cool, and they show me a lot of things. I learned a lot of things working with these guys. And this is today's market. So the market's up. People are saying jobs, inflation, volatility, the usual. Let's see what the market offers us today. Thank you, and have a very blessed day. Goodbye.